All right, guys, so we got to talk about this interesting story from this TikToker who pretty much makes content exposing her dating lifestyle. Okay, every time she goes on a date or receives a message on Tinder or Hinge or what have you, she exposes that interaction. Okay, now for this video specifically, she is going to be describing a date that she went on and subsequently the guy finding her TikTok and pretty much ghosting her / dumping / I guess didn't want to talk to her anymore. And it seems like he may have seen the other videos in the past and probably said to himself, I don't want anything to do with this. Okay, now let's go ahead and roll the clip. Let's take a look.
Guys, I'm back from my Hinge date, which I thought was not gonna be good. Like, I don't know why I thought I wasn't gonna enjoy it, but I'm back and it actually went really, really well. So I didn't say before, but we actually ended up getting dinner at Fia, which is in Buckhead. It's in the Burgess Hotel. This was very nice. It was delicious. First of all, I ended up getting the salmon and we got 2 sides of like the potatoes and Brussels sprouts. I love Brussels sprouts. And he got a steak sirloin, medium well, because that, if you get your steaks well done, something's wrong with you. He got his medium well, which is a green flag. I personally think the conversation went really well. He, I think, made it a point to ask me about myself, which I've gone on a lot of dates where like men don't even ask you about yourselves and they just talk about themselves for a long time. But he genuinely seemed interested in what I had to say. And I think he's really funny. He's definitely cute. I don't know what it is about men. I don't think men in general take the best pictures of themselves. So I think he looks better than he does on the app. Not to say like his pictures on the app are bad. I just don't think men take the best pictures of themselves.
Because men don't rely on filters and makeup and contour and things of that nature. It is what it is.
So he was like very nice looking. I think we have a lot in common. We just had a really nice conversation. I'm definitely would be interested in seeing him again. So hopefully that happens. Maybe we'll have a second date. Who knows? You guys will always be the first to know. That's how my date went. It was really nice. I definitely want to go back to that restaurant again, regardless if it's a date or not. It was really, really good. So if you're in the Metro Atlanta area, it was Fia in Buckhead, FIA. And I know someone's going to ask, yes, he did pay. I've had a whole nother date situation where a guy did not pay. So people always ask me now. He did pay, which was very nice. I did forget to thank him at the end of the date, but I ended up texting him because when I'm nervous, I talk a lot. So I ended up texting him and I was like, hey, sorry for like literally talking your ear off. Thank you for dinner. So we will see where this goes.
All right, guys. So there you have it. More or less, the date went pretty well, according to her. Now, on this next clip, she is going to be giving an update as to what happened after the date. Take a look.
All right, here is the story time of how my Hinge date went 4 days ago. So the last thing that I updated my TikTok on is I went on this really good date with this guy. I was super hopeful that we would have a second date. I ended up getting home and he said he had a really great time. I had a really great time. And he asked me if I wanted to go on a second date. And I did. So the night ended off with him saying he wanted a second date. And I suggested this weekend because we both mentioned that we weren't doing anything that weekend. And then I went to sleep. The next morning I get to work and I hadn't heard from him, which is fine. Like, I'm busy in the morning. He has a job. It's okay. He said he was going into the office that day. Around 9:30 or 10 o'clock, I get a message from him and I'm super excited until I open it. I open up the message and it says verbatim, hey, so I found your TikTok and I don't think I can date someone who has that many followers, but it was nice to meet you, or it was great to meet you, something like that. So I responded back and I said, hey, it was really great to meet you too. No worries. Or I said, no worries. It was great to meet you too. And I just left it at that. He didn't text me back. I didn't follow up. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it had anything to do with your followers. Okay. It had to do with the type of content that you create. Okay. You create the content where You're pretty much exposing your dating life. Okay, you're making TikTok videos exposing your dating life, and he didn't want to be featured on your page. Okay, he probably wanted to keep his private life private. But let's keep going.
It was kind of disappointing, but you know, it is what it is. So I think I was more confused than I was disappointed. I mean, I was disappointed because he seemed like a really nice guy. We're on our dinner date. I mentioned to him, like, yeah, I like to do social media. Like, I have a TikTok and I'm trying to start up a YouTube and, you know, maybe get my Instagram going. And he was like, oh my gosh, that's really cool. Like, he seemed genuinely interested in it. And he was like, you know, what kind of content do you make? And I was like, well, on YouTube, I have Disney vlogs. And he like made a joke. He was like, oh, I'm going to try to find your YouTube. And I was like, oh my God, please don't. And then I was like, on TikTok, you know, I just make lifestyle videos. So like makeup, vlogs. Whenever I go to Disney, I said I do like date videos. Like I get ready to go on dates. And he was like, oh. And I was like, yeah, but I'm like not showing people's faces and like giving out their personal information. It's mostly just me getting ready. And he seemed genuinely interested and thought it was cool. So I was like, oh my God, yay. I mean, I personally don't think I have that many followers that would warrant someone not to want to like date me or talk to me. But again, I'm not mad. Like that's what he believes in, and I guess that's okay. But I also just think, I don't know. I guess argument could be said like I never should have told him I made TikToks, but I do make TikToks. And I could have just withheld that information, but I'm a very truthful person. Why would I lie? It's not like, that's not like a serious thing. I make content about other stuff besides my dates. Albeit my date videos do like get a lot of attention, but that's just my life. I'm just posting about my life.
Yeah, so I went on her page and she has at least one video over 1 million views, okay, if not more videos. So again, he probably saw that and said, nah.
And there have been guys before who have found my TikToks and they thought it was really cool. He's the first person that I think I've met that doesn't think it's cool. And when I told him about it, I guess maybe he didn't think I had that many followers. So yeah, that's how it went. I was kind of disappointed, but at the end of the day, I guess that's just not my person. Do I not tell people that I do TikToks? So like in my head, I equate telling people like, oh, I make like fun TikToks, like the same way as I say, oh, I really like to read. It's just a hobby. I think it's 2024. Once you give someone your number, it's only a matter of time before they find your TikTok. And ideally, my future partner in life will be super supportive of my social media or whatever I decide to do. So at the end of the day, this guy, he just wasn't meant to be.
All right, guys, so there you have it. Let's go ahead and check out some of these comments. All right, so first commenter says, I agree with him. If I found this info, I would stop talking to that person. Next commenter says, that wasn't his loss because some people actually prioritize privacy, unlike some of you in the comments. And that's the problem with people. All right, so next commenter says, I wonder if he thinks that you will be talking about the relationship online. All right, so next commenter says, no, you should definitely be honest. It's giving he's insecure. You will find someone who supports you. I tell people I work in social media, and if they figure it out, then I don't let them see my socials until we have a connection. It's so whack for him to use that excuse. At least he was honest about it. Just wasn't a match. All right, guys, go ahead and provide me some feedback in the comment section below. And until next time.